I am so hungry right now. I've started a new diet. Now, I normally don't sit there and talk about diets here on this vlog, and I fully understand if you go, Steve, I don't want to talk about diets because I hate it when people talk to me about diets and fitness and stuff like that. And I know that occasionally I do. I talk about how important fitness is for us, and I talk about what it's like being a baby boomer on a fitness journey. But this has life relevance beyond just weight relevance. So bear with me if you will. So here's the thing. You know, if you follow this vlog, that a couple of years ago now, I started getting really conscious about my health. And I started eating right, and I started working out regularly because I was diagnosed with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and I got everything under control, so I'm not medicated. I don't need any medicine because I've got my blood sugars and my weight more or less under control, and I've increased my fitness by working out 5 or 6 days a week. And that's been great. And I've loved that journey, and I've got lots of vlogs about that you can watch me talking about it. And I can't encourage you strongly enough to get started in some way on a journey similarly if you aren't already doing that. Having said that, I hit plateau. I had lost quite a bit of weight. I got fairly fit, but I wasn't losing any more weight. I was still eating well. And here was what was happening psychologically in your mind. Something happens. There was a beard hair in my mouth. I hope that wasn't totally gross. Something happens to you if you are doing the work and you're not getting the results. That was the thing, is I was going to the gym, I was working out, I was eating properly, but I wasn't losing weight. Your body's hit a set point. I've read about it a bit. There's a happy point for your body that just kind of stays at that stasis if it can. And that was what I was at. And here's what happened psychologically as a result of that. Psychologically, see that I pointed to my brain? Psychologically. Here's what happened to me, though, is I started to lose discipline because I wasn't seeing the results of my efforts. So I was saying, no, I'm not going to eat those potato chips at Christmas because I am a fit guy now. But I'm still kind of chubby, and I'm not losing weight, but I'm not eating the chips. That was making me frustrated to the point that I said, screw you, body. If you're not going to lose weight, I'll just eat the damn chips. And I didn't do it very much, but I did it enough that I could realize that I could slip off the path if I'm not careful. I think this might resonate with you all. You know, you need to see tangible results to your efforts. I knew I had to do something about it. So you got to mix things up, right? If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, obviously we're not going to get any different results. We were 5 or 6 months in stasis, but healthier, but not seeing measurable results. So I did some research and I looked for a new diet. And now here's the thing about, maybe it's a sexist comment, but guys need simple rules to follow. I'll follow the rules, I'll follow the diet if they're simple, if I can understand them, if they're not more work than the eating. You know, measuring calories, weighing things, those things are they're too hard. They're just too hard for me. I know that I will fail if I have to do those things because I'll get lazy or I'll get busy doing something else. And then when it comes time to measure, I won't have time to measure, so I'll just eat up. So I was reading about this thing called intermittent fasting. You probably know it. So intermittent fasting works in a variety of different ways. There's like 18 different flavors of intermittent fasting diets. You can go a day without eating. You can go 2 days without eating. The one that I chose was just within a 24-hour period to only eat within a compressed window of time. And they recommend 8 hours, but normally speaking, actually, since I've been doing it about 6 hours. So I will only eat in a 6-hour window. Now, here's the challenge, is you want to have dinner with your family. And so when you start eating, it dictates when you can finish eating. And normally, I would have a smoothie in the morning before I went to work out, which would be the start of my eating day. But that's at like 6 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning as I would have a smoothie, which meant that if I could only eat for 6 hours after that, my last meal would be noon, maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, let's stretch it to 8 hours, 2 in the afternoon. Can't have dinner with the family. So that wasn't going to work. So here, that was what my stopping point was. I'm not sure this thing's going to work for me because, there's not enough flexibility. Now, the whole theory behind the diet is you eat in that 6-hour period, 8-hour period, and then your body goes into ketosis, which is very similar to, which is how you lose weight. Ketosis is when your body starts burning fat instead of burning the food, the sugars in the food that you've eaten. It starts converting your fat into sugar for fuel, and that's how you actually can lose weight. And it's just science at that point there. The longer that you're in ketosis, the more your body consumes fat rather than storing fat. So you're only storing fat for 5 or 6 or 8 hours in a day, but you're burning fat then for 16 hours a day or 18 hours in a day. So you lose weight. And that's what I did. But what I had to do in order to make it work is I had to say, I'm not going to start eating till noon. My first meal of the day is noon. And oh my gosh, there was some psychological about that because I want to be able to have dinner with the family. But now I was worried, what's my productivity going to be like in the morning? I'm not going to have eaten. I'll be hungry all the time. And oh man, I wasn't too sure how it would work. But here's the beauty of this, for me at least, and maybe it will work for you. I'd love to hear your comments on it. The reason it's worked for me is, first of all, you're allowed to drink coffee. So I'm drinking coffee, and coffee is a bit of an appetite suppressant, but you can't have any cream in the coffee. Now, I love coffee, and I always used to put cream in my coffee. So now not putting cream in my coffee was like, how in the world am I ever going to survive with no cream in my coffee? But it turns out when you're super hungry all the time, and the only thing you can have is coffee, you look forward to it in any form it comes. So I'm actually loving my black coffee. So I'll just... How it works that way. So that was one. Number 2 is your body kind of adjusts and you actually have energy going through. I was worried about working out in the morning that I would be like faint or something like that. But even though I'm hungry, I felt just fine working out. Productivity, sitting at the desk and working, when you get hungry, you go, oh, geez, I really could use a bar or a snack or some food right now. And so that's a little bit distracting. But here's the psychological thing that has made it work the best for me, at least as far as I'm concerned, is like when it's like 9:30 in the morning right now that I'm recording this. I can't eat for another 2.5 hours. I go, oh, I can't eat for 2.5 hours. You know what? I got to distract myself. I'm going to just throw myself into work. So my mornings have become hyper productive because I'm hungry. I'm hungry all the time. And it's not debilitating hunger, and it's actually lessening as I'm about 3 weeks into it, and it's lessening. So I normally wouldn't talk about a diet like this early into it without, and share this story with you, other than these kind of surprising discoveries along the way that might encourage you to consider it. The bottom line is, if you aren't happy with the way you are, you have to change something. And if you're not getting results from the effort you're putting in, you have to change something. When you do change something, you've got to look for the good aspects of that, and you've got to make it work for you. So I've now taken this new fasting diet, and I've made it work within my own psyche. I actually look forward to not eating because it means that I get some other rewards, such as loving my coffee even more and being hyper-productive in the morning, getting a great deal of work done in the morning, which makes me feel so much better. And yes, I've lost some weight. I've lost, 6 or 7 pounds in the first 3 or 4 weeks. And so I don't need to hit a goal of pounds lost. I just need to see steady progress. I need to see that I'm moving in the right direction in order to stay on the bandwagon. So that's it today. The lesson for today's podcast, the theme is when it's not working, you got to change something. And change isn't always easy for us to do. But we make change better by looking forward to the positive aspects of that change, finding things to look forward to in that change. How's that? I'm just a motivational marvel today, aren't I? And I'm still really hungry. Looking forward to your comments. Love to hear your thoughts on it. Have fun storming a castle.